Hey, what's up, guys? What is going on? Welcome back. Hope everybody's doing well. Manchester City versus Real Madrid, 3-2. What a game! Really, really good game. Well deserved for Madrid. It's strange because I thought Madrid didn't have that great of a game because that first half was mostly they started off really well, but that first half mostly goes to Manchester City. Manchester City was so frustrating because I saw 2 years ago Manchester City. I saw prime Manchester City for what was like maybe 30 minutes, and then they just let up. They were pressuring like crazy. I think as soon as Grealish came out, that was it. The plan was over because that original team was the original plan to be able to suffocate. And since Madrid are having such a hard time with defense, Pep knew how to dismantle this Real Madrid side. They had to make the change, and Foden, although he got the penalty in the second half, Foden just wasn't up for the task in the first half. He didn't absolutely do anything when he came in. It was only in the second half, had the shot, had a penalty, and good for him. I mean, it was in the end it paid off, right? Because they ended up getting the second goal with Holland scoring the penalty, but that first half, man, it was nice. It was really nice to see that, and it made the game just more interesting because after that, it was just Madrid. I don't know what happened. Halftime, Ancelotti, they got a call from Rudiger. The boys looked at each other, Mbappe, Bellingham, Valverde, and just said, "Hey, Manchester City's just like they're horrible this year. We're a better team than them. Yeah, we've been having issues ourselves, but we are definitely a better team than Manchester City." And they came out and they played and they got the equalizer with Mbappe. Ceballos, which had an on game, really good pass. This guy cannot finish. Fair enough, it's a goal and it counts. But after that, Mbappe just couldn't do anything. He had so many opportunities, and for the first time, I gotta say, I wish not Vinicius. I wish that was Rodrigo with the chances that Mbappe had, because Rodrigo would have at least hit the target, and one of those would have gone in easily. The one that Rodrigo actually gives Mbappe, and Mbappe's all by himself. His typical arm going. I know that's his style. I'm not gonna. I don't know, chop off his arm or something. Short of cutting his arm off, he's always gonna do that. But Mbappe, you're tight with Henry. Call Henry. Ask him how to finish, because he can tell you how to finish those balls. He would tell you how to finish those balls. Oh man, how did you miss that? There was nobody there, and you see Rodrigo fall to his knees and put his hands in the air like, like if that was me, at least I would hit the target. I definitely would have scored, and I do believe Rodrigo would have scored. Rodrigo, I thought, had a really good game, most of the first half. And then in the second half, he kind of turned off, and obviously they had to substitute him, so I understand that, but I thought he was good. Another thing I heard, like some people were saying at work, was that Vinicius didn't have a good game. I disagree. Vinicius had a really good game. He was lucky that Walker wasn't on that side. He had some chances. I'm surprised the chance with, and this was a back-to-back play that they had in the beginning. The first 15, 20 minutes that I said it was all Madrid, that combination with, again, Rodrigo with the little pass, the little chip, Mendy of all people gets the ball, ends up passing it perfectly to Vinicius. Vinicius passes it back to Mendy, and unfortunately Mendy had to get two touches, and then the block, I think it hit Aki or Kanji, one of those two. And I'm just surprised that Vinicius didn't end up taking that himself. I'm really surprised. In a different game, I think that would have been all Vinicius, absolutely all Vinicius. But the idea was great. It was great. It was just Mendy at the end of at the end of the ball to put that in, and he could have had he taken the first touch to Mbappe, which was a cross, which was asking for the ball afterwards, I think that would have been a goal. But by the second touch, it just closed off, and there was no way he was going to get to. He was not going to get the ball to Mbappe. It would have been blocked. It would have been intercepted. Madrid played well. They played really well in that first half. Those first 15, 20 minutes, I thought they did a really, really good job. It seemed like they were even showboating at one point. The play with Bellingham passing it to Vinicius, and Vinicius a little nutmeg. I think it was a nutmeg on Ruben Diaz, and then that pass just made everything. That just made it a master class of a play. Ends up outside of his foot. Mbappe running all the way from the back, and the strike, and the one and only thing I think that Ederson did this game, because Ederson was colossally horrible, like just absolutely bad this whole game. And he ends up blocking the shot. Another thing I noticed that Mbappe doesn't have, is it me or that he decreased in terms of speed? Like his speed is not the same at all. He couldn't beat Gavardio. He couldn't beat Akanji. He couldn't beat Ruben Diaz. And I know he's faster than them, or he used to be at least faster than them. He just now, like off the starting blocks, he doesn't have that speed. He needs to be coming back at least 20 yards back to be able to beat you. That's the only way Mbappe is going to beat you these days. Or just really good defending from these three defenders that I just mentioned. Mbappe, you had so many opportunities. You had a whole bunch of opportunities. And the one chance that he ended up striking the ball, barely striking it, he ends up scoring a goal. Just trickling inside, almost in slow motion, ends up spinning its way inside, and they get the tie with that. The goal for Manchester City, the first goal, that was such a great goal. Can we just admit that Gvardiol is like their best player? Gvardiol is the best player of Manchester City. He is so consistent. He could defend. He could set up plays. He could attack. The little chest. First of all, he's the one that gave Haaland the pass, and then Haaland gave it to Grealish, and Grealish with a really nice little lob. And Gvardiol with the chest just places it on a plate for Haaland to finish. And really good finish also by Haaland. And the 1-1. And after that, I was actually surprised that they ended up scoring the 1-0. Because up until that point, it was a Madrid game. And it just didn't make sense. I was like scratching my head like, what happened? This was like Madrid. Everything was going in Madrid's favor. And all of a sudden, Manchester City ended up scoring. And then when they scored, it was all Manchester City up until the very end. That's when Madrid kind of sort of woke up and they started attacking a little bit more. And by the second half, again, I don't know what happened that woke them up, and they deserved that win. I really thought that Manchester City could have won. They had an opportunity in the first half, for at least a good chunk of the first half, to be able to get the second and third goal, and they just blew it. And that's just the story of Manchester City this season. Nothing's really working out for them. And of course, the second and third goal, Ibrahim Diaz coming in. As soon as he came in, one touch, second touch, ends up scoring. Bellingham, I thought, had a really good game. Ended up helping in the second goal. And in the third goal, he ended up scoring the third goal. And nobody was going to... I think it was Ruben Diaz that was following him, or John Stones. There was no way they were going to body him. Not the best of finishes from Vinicius, but really good steal from Vinicius. And also not the best from Kovacic, giving it to Rico Lewis. Lewis could have probably done a little bit better, knowing that he's the last guy to beat. Barely puts his foot in, Vinicius with the steal, and the finish wasn't that great, but it was actually a really good pass for Bellingham to push it in. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Thank you so much again, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.